But of course, we mentioned Oasis there. My favorite band of all time. I've always loved them. What do you think? And this is a question you've been asked a million times, I'm sure. But what do you think's the realistic possibilities of a reunion?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think here's the thing. I think if Liam went to Noel cap in hand and said, "Look, mate, I totally fucked up. I own it. I love you. You're my brother, and it won't happen again," and then proved it over a couple of years, it could happen. But the problem is, what makes Liam Liam? What makes Liam the force of nature that he is he's such a lad who he's got a lot of pride. He doesn't need to do it because he's trouncing Noel like in the popularity stakes now, selling out Nebworth. Do you know what I mean? That's what it would take, I reckon. I did a video on that earlier, like in the year, and thinking, could it happen? And I mean, when you got kids and you feel like someone's attacking them, you'll do anything to stop that attack. And then when it's a member of your own family doing the attacking, I mean, that's just such a red line, isn't it? I don't know, man. I hope so, but I don't know.
Because I was researching because, like, I'll be very open that I love the Spice Girls. I think they're great, and I think that despite the whole marketing campaign, I think that they're very underrated songs. And if Mel B's out there, and if you're looking for a new husband, ah, but I was reading about they did a tour in 2019. They did 12 concerts, and I was reading how much it made, £70 million from 12 gigs. If Oasis did that, they could clearly do multiple nights in every fucking stadium around the UK and Ireland for an entire summer, split, then come back, do it again the next year, and then maybe add a few arena dates for the winter. Then the year after that, they could tour Europe to America, then back to the UK and Ireland for like I don't know the definitely maybe 30th anniversary or whatever the fucking date it would be. I think that financially, at some point, I think that an Oasis reunion tour, it's the biggest tour in the world, and even if it's just Liam and Noel, they could still get away with using the name Oasis, and fans would be like, "Yeah, I'm going." It's like no one's going to go. Wait, Andy Bell's not at this gig. I'm not going.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
I mean, so, the problem is though, it's trauma. It's Noel. It's a trauma for Noel to have to put up with Liam. They're so different, and you know, have you got brothers or sisters?
No. Well, technically yes, but no.
Well, I grew up with a brother, and I got two lads as well. And you hit a point with brothers where it's often young. It's often before you're even in double digits, where that sibling has pissed you off so many times that every time they do it again, it's poking an open wound. Now you look at their flipping relationship, and Noel had a psychotic breakdown at the end of the 90s, and while he was going through it, Liam was publicly abusing him. I mean, you can see it at the Wembley gig. I mean, getting in his face and going, "You're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly," into the microphone. When he was splitting with his wife, he was going through a psychotic breakdown. He was in and out of rehab. He was on antidepressants, and Liam was just abusing him. And this went on for another 9 years. So for Noel, I think he's hit the point where it's fucking traumatic. I think he's got hit the point where he goes, "I'm out of Manchester. I've escaped the shithole I was born in." I don't mean Manchester's a shithole. I love Manchester, but he was in an abusive place with his family. He's escaped that situation, and he's happy. Got a great wife. Got a family. He's got enough money. He's living at a good standard. He's got friends. The bottom line for Noel is, I think if he could do it peacefully, he'd do it. But I think it's become a wound that's been reopened so many times that he's gone, no amount of money is worth the PTSD of having that opened again. That's the bottom line. I think it's just that.
Yeah, I think though, but at some point those numbers would talk. Like I've some exes that I don't even like saying their names out loud because it makes me feel ill. But at the same time, but if you pay me to say it, I'd get fucking the name tattooed across my neck. But I think that with Oasis, at some point, like especially with the way touring is these days. Like you're hearing about how like the Foo Fighters take home like 20 million each per tour per year. And it's, at some point you're like, you know what, Liam may be a dick, but I don't have to hang around with him off stage. I can do the set list. We don't change it up much. This is the gig. We'll do 90 minutes. See you at Wembley, and that'll be the. I just think that it will happen, but I just hope they don't drag it out for too long. Because if you look at the Kinks, who did you hear about their reunion?
No, I didn't.
They get back together to do a new album, and then they got in the studio and they're like, "You're 74. You cannot sing anymore. Your voice is gone," to the point that even though technically the Kinks got back together, nothing came from it because Ray Davis is a pensioner. And it's like, guys, you missed your window 20 years ago. It should have happened in the 90s or earlier or later, but not now. Like, and I think it's a shame, and I just hope that Oasis don't do that. But at the same time, I can happily say that they've been blessed with they've been blessed and cursed with an Irish tradition. They've been blessed with they're as hairy as it gets, and they're never going bald. They've also been blessed, been cursed with unbelievable stubbornness.
Yeah.
And like they'll hold the grudge forever. But I'm willing to bet that if you spoke to Noel today, he'd be like, I remember back in P3, fucking Steve didn't offer me a crisp, but he took one of mine. Like, what a wanker. I think that he'll hold on to those grudges forever. And sadly, which is weird, especially when you think about it, the fact that their dad was bald, yet all three of the Gallagher brothers are some of the hairiest bastards going. But, you know.
They can afford to have it taken off their arse and put back on the bald spot.
Do you think that's...
No, not really.
Oh.
But they can afford it. Grief. They're millionaires, them lot.
Yeah, true.
But no, I don't think so.